Thank you for joining me on another episode of Light and Darkness on Eternality is our theme for these 4 series, and we're on our 4th of the 4th episodes. Today we'll talk about a realm switch, and it refers to the final part of 2 Corinthians 4:17 to 18, where he says, "Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." And I'd like to begin by focusing on the first part of that, where it says, "Since what is seen is temporary." And if we look at something that's temporary, it can have one of 2 characteristics. The first is that it can be that it's either expired or it's on its way to expiring. Let's look at a gallon of milk at the grocery store. You look at it, it's temporary. Why? Because it has an expiration date on it. That expiration date shows us that it's there is a date where that gallon of milk will come to expiration. And so that also relates to the value of that gallon of milk, or the value of something that's temporary. If something is temporary, is the value eternal, or is it just for a moment based on the time frame that the stamp of that expiration date has provided that product, like that gallon of milk? So, and of course, it also is linked with that which is common versus that which is uncommon, or that which is of high value versus that which is of low value. And so if what is seen is temporary, and this is really a preview to the second part of his sentence, if what is seen is temporary and what is unseen is eternal, then the question is, or the comment is, what is unseen can either be considered one of 2 things. Either A, it's non-existent, or B, it's eternal yet existent. And the reason why I split that up is because many may argue that eternality has not yet come to existence. So if we look at it from that, if we decide to split up the 2, then we are comparing what's temporary or what's seen, which is with what is unseen. However, we're referring to unseen, or we're splitting it for the purpose of analysis here with that's non-existent versus that which is eternal. And so in this way, we can also see the temporary, or we can ask, can also the temporary, or it can actually, if the temporary shifts from being unseen to what's seen, is that temporary, which has not yet been seen, is that non-existent or is that eternal? And if it's eternal, is it existent but just not seen yet? Does that make sense? I hope you caught that. Because there's a difference if something is temporary but not yet seen but existent, such as eternality, although that's not temporary, that's eternal. It's something much different than that which is non-existent, in the sense that, or with the assumption that eternality does not exist. And the value really lies in how we choose to view it, or determine, or define that which is temporary versus that which is eternal. And then the final thing is, if we look at it at temporary as a shift from that which is unseen to that which is seen, is the temporary, if it's still in the mode of that which is unseen, is it still considered of high value, since it can be seen as under the umbrella of eternality? That's the first part. And the second part is really those things which are temporary, which we see as glimpses of eternality, or which we see as glimpses, as a glimpse of the spiritual realm. Really, that verse covers it, because it's referring to it's really splitting up temporary into 2, let's say, categories. The temporary of the physical realm, or the temporary of the chains of, let's say, I say chains, but let's say the worldly desires, the desires of the flesh, the things that chain down the spirit, which are the temporary pleasures. But also the aspect of temporary can be that which is temporary, which is still in the unseen, but yet to come. So it's referring to it as a spiritual eye, or a spiritual sense of the temporary, which is yet to come. So I just want to read the scripture, 2 Corinthians 4:17 to 18, which is the scripture that we have been looking at on these 4 episodes, focusing on eternality, where the Apostle Paul, he says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." And I want to leave to you the saying or the teaching of Jesus where he says, "I am the vine and you are the branches. Whoever abides in me will bear much fruit, but without me you can do nothing." And he's referring to spiritual fruits, number 1, and number 2, of course, with spiritual fruits come the physical blessings and the physical fruits and the abundance that he promises those that follow him. But without me, he says, and he clarifies and he confirms, you can do nothing. So whatever you're chasing after or whatever you think that you have accomplished today, as miraculous as it looks, in fact, since you're not abiding in me, the miraculous that you're seeing as miraculous is really not miraculous relative to the potential of the miraculous if you were to abide in me, and if really you were a branch that is tapping into the power of the true vine, which is Jesus. So I thank you for joining me today on another episode of Light and Darkness.